Yo, 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 what is up? It's T.I.G. What's happening, everybody? Um, I'm gonna do one of my little reviews, but I have been drinking, I have been smoking, so this is an uncensored review, I guess you'll say. Um, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm not gonna listen to this back, by the way. I'm just gonna put the logo onto the fucking voice recording. You know what I'm talking about. By the way, actually, that's after reminding me. Uh, Thanks to Jiggy for my new, fresh, professional, sleek-looking logo. Um, the original logo, it's iconic. It's iconic. 10, 15 years down the line, we'll probably look back at it and say, yeah, that's kind of representative of Tig, kind of guy he was, just a big stand up bloke, just a fucking legend. But yeah, no, Jiggy's new logo's fresh and slick, and yeah, thanks a million, Jiggy. So, fucking, I said I was only going to do this the odd time, but here we are, 3 shows on the trot. There's just so much fucking happening right now, isn't there? There's so much happening in the FWA. It's hard to ignore what's going on, and this offering from Sin City, Las Vegas, was no different than the last two. Love the show starting with Alan Price and Nova Diamond. I mean, you talk about cold openings and how they're fun, and add a little kind of, I don't know, I always kind of like the cold opens, kind of feel like we're in for a big night. I think if you look historically at fight nights that have cold openings, something pretty big usually happens. This one was really fun with Adam Price and Nova Diamond, especially with the question marks around Nova Diamond and what's going on there, and obviously Adam Price, Peacock's representative, fucking always very fun. But yeah, I think cold opens probably a bit of a giveaway. That's going to be a bit of happenings going on tonight. Going to the show proper itself, and just once again want to shout out Jiggy. He's done it on the last review. This video is brilliant. The back in business hype video, really well done, and I love this sort of shit. Like, look, none of us are professionals. None of us are fucking GFX, creative design, maestros. But I think like shit that Jiggy does, Comeback Kid does, Sully does, all that sort of shit really adds to the whole feel. For me anyway, I think it's cool, and like I really like seeing it. It makes it more immersive and shit like that. But yeah, straight into the show, general rundown, and obviously I knew this was kicking off. Well, sorry, I don't mean I knew. Everyone fucking knew this was kicking off the show. But yeah, the opener, and it was a match I graded myself. No problem saying it. I think like between the three teams, there was like from my end anyway, there was like 1.25 in the difference between the highest ranked and the lowest ranked team. And I just thought it was a really good batch of promos, and that each of them by themselves were fucking cracking pieces of work and would be worthy of winning most matches. But unfortunately, they all had to come up against each other. I really like this MVH kind of seg into the match. We had to sit down and interview last week, and obviously I praised that was good, but I think nothing beats MVH there in front of the live crowd speaking, getting their actual genuine reactions to shit and all. And yeah, I mean, MPH still looks like the superstar and all this. Like, I know, like, we've the last couple of weeks, everyone's kind of started to not that people didn't recognise how good Power was, but the last few weeks he's started to get his praise, and then obviously Sully. I think the whole thing about him mentioning the retirement actually got people to start talking about how good his reign was. And as I said in the last review, I really, really hope Sully doesn't leave, win or lose. But if he wins, I really hope he stays. And yeah, anyway, yeah, look, there's a couple of complaints about the booking of this match, the X Division and the World Division. Like, what is there to gain? And I do get that, and I do agree with that. Just give me 1 second, I'll just go and light this. Sorry, boys. I do get that. It's logical. I get the complaint, but at the same time, it's an Eve, and sometimes it's just fun to do this sort of shit. And I know John and Sonny done separate promos, but MVH and Peacock collabed, Concho and Park collabed, and they're probably two collabs we wouldn't have seen otherwise. Sorry, boys, just having one little bit of trouble with this. Let's just get this now. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, I thought the match was pretty well written. I thought, in my opinion, well, reflected what my grades were. I had MVH and Par as the winners. Slightly, but yeah, I had them as the winner, so I have to say I was not going to say expecting this result, but with the grade someone to win, and then they win, there's never too big of a shock. But I thought, the match done the job, hot opener, get the Vegas crowd going. We go straight into the Garcia bit, and given the end, Steel City with Kate Knox's jacket on the cage, but without actually saying Kate Knox, I feel tonight is a night that we really, really need to see Kate Knox. I mean, after this, we've only got to go home show. I thought the back of business match was set up well initially, but with Kate Knox missing, like, it's kind of lost a bit of heat. And obviously, this is no disrespect to Garcia, but a couple of losses obviously take a bit of heat out of it, with Knox being missing as well. If Garcia was winning his matches, Knox is absent, like, it'd still be a bit of a story there. I'm not saying there's not a story there, it's still a good story, and like, I thought this promo was really well done. But yeah, we need to see Knox tonight, definitely. I like play, as I said, like, I don't know how many times I've mentioned this, playing on like the hometown aesthetics, whether it's a competitor that hails from the hometown, or if not, something like this, the team of the night reflects the hometown. We had it the last week with the terrible towns in Pittsburgh, and now game of poker going on at the casino in Vegas, pretty cool. Obviously a couple of Ground Zero cameos, but obviously the big news here is Sean Summers' appearance, and we already talked to the Discord today. Sean Summers eligible to be drafted, 1 year commitment. Really interested to see where that's going. If Sean Summers is in the draft and gets drafted to a brand, I would be very surprised if by the end of his 1 year commitment he hadn't won the X or the NA title, depending on what brand he is. I think Summers is really good. Their bastard promo at Carnival Contendership, I think out of the 25 promos that were submitted, I think I had it 8th or 9th. It was just on the cusp of getting into the top 7, and I remember saying at the time that is a little bit unfortunate that Summers hadn't got like kind of the history and the momentum with the story going into the match to playoff, because the promo was really good, the concept was really good, the writing was obviously terrific, and I think with a little bit more juice that definitely would have been a top 7 promo. So even just to see him here at Sin City is pretty hype for me. And then something we talked about last week, Unit and Blackbird, and how I don't think AOL will do a story match and shit like that. Again, same thoughts. Thought this was a good seg. Thought Blackbird was entertaining, but the whole way through, all I kept thinking was, I really, really hope that this is going to be a competitive match. And as the segment was going on, I kind of bought into the hype. I started believing, like, yeah, it's going to be a comeback of some sort, because the way I look at it is, Knox and Garcia, that's set in stone. TUA, as we get into it in a minute or two, obviously have signs on the tag division, and it's not really logical to try and book one of them against Unit, so like, I was expecting a bit of a comeback here, but drawn out, Vinny ends up blasting Unit over the head with the mic, and yeah, I mean, the end of the seg suggests that it's going to be Vinny and Unit at BIB. It's kind of where like kayfabe and reality come into play. Sorry, but I was just trying to get this late. We know the Ultra isn't around. We know Vinny's not going to have a promo. If he does, it's not going to be from it's his actual handler. But I still think there's something to come with this. The announcement was made, Unit and Vinny, BIB, but I know he has Lizzie and KDS, but I just can't see AON story in Unit at BIB. So yeah, something to keep my eye on. Louis and Donovan next. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong. I could be incorrect. I actually ordered a glance at Jiggy's promo. I didn't read any of the promos except the ones I was asked to grade this week. I think this was a double no-show. Maybe wrong. I think it was a double no-show. Regardless, one of these boys had to get the win. And I'm happy enough it was Louis. Mitch is a good writer. He's shown that a few times. Hope he comes back. But he hasn't been online the last couple of days. And Mannix, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Seems like he's willing to throw himself in and get involved. So this win for Louis. Nice moment for Mannix, and hopefully it leads on to him propelling to something else. And a BOB program, I noticed the shit with shocks going on. I don't know what's going to happen now when they go home. Maybe some sort of match involving Donovan and Shocks, setting up Shocks and Louis to both beat Donovan. I don't know. I think it'd be better served if it is going to be a case that Mitch is missing. Probably be better off just run the Blair versus Maddox, Shocks versus Louis, BOB. One of the opening matches on the undercard. One will get a big moment, good write up, both will come out looking good. So, yeah, obviously Mitch is around to run the triple threat as planned, but as I was saying about Sarah and Owen Bay before, I knew Owen Bay was back into saying I think it's better like for every match to be competitive and at least have promos up. People aren't online at the time, they miss out, just kind of what happens. Um, Again, continuing the theme with the Diamond Dogs, Garcia continuing his promo from earlier on, his little angle for the show, looking for knocks. This TOA promo was really, really good. That kicked off the next bit. I just think it's pretty cool, the different dynamic between Savage and Phoenix. You know, like, you kind of find yourself nodding your head and agreeing with what Savage does be saying, and then Phoenix gets on the mic. He's just a fucking dickhead, man. Just a dickhead. Put the whole tag division on notice here. I'm all kill with that. A little bit more spotlight on the tag division. Cute little comment about the hometown. And yeah, I thought that was a pretty good segment from Jimmy. And as I said in the last podcast, or review, whatever you want to call it, Jimmy's been performing pretty well recently. So happy to see that. CK and Crash promo was obviously good and needed, I have to say. Not a lot of build for what's a really big match. I mean, on the podcast that I was on with SS and TGO, the first one, I talked about the competitive side of things and like the draw being who was a better. Like, I'm not saying like whoever wins this is undisputedly the better rider, but the draw is kind of like who's going to produce the best promo this week between two guys that can produce two top end promos. And like, yeah, I know, like, look, I'm not having to go with the booking. The booking's great. We get top end matches, but Smooth Jazz against Jiggy at BIB after the year Crash has had with the historical impact of what Jiggy at BIB means between two boys we know are top end riders. It's just yeah. I mean, it sells itself, but at the same time, you need to replicate that in the shows. Like, even though it does sell itself, and it's just the match alone, Jiggy versus Smooth, Crash versus CK. You don't need to say anything else. Don't need to announce anything else, post anything else. That alone would do it. It is nice to see that a match of that magnitude is replicated with a bit of build that would probably happen in real life. And both guys came across looking good here. Not gonna lie, I do vaguely remember from Crash's sign up the last time I looked at it. Sorry lads, the last time I looked at it, I do remember noting that he had like a super finisher that was never kicked out, rarely broken out. The Razzle Dazzle, it might be, it could be a Burning Hammer. I'm not sure. Avalanche Burning Hammer. I don't know. But yeah, I think like that's the fact that I don't know exactly what it is doesn't matter. The concept remains the same. Crash had to break out a super finisher here to put CK down, kind of foreshadowing that it's going to take a hell of a lot for Crash to put CK down, especially at BIB. And obviously went straight into the match, and the match was really well written. And like, do you know what? It's such a massive win for Raw, for Aleister Black, but I'm not shocked. Now, as I've said, the only promos I've properly read in depth were the ones where was the tag team openers. I read all the promos. I glanced over Chris Kennedy's promo in a little bit more detail just because it's Jiggy, it's Chris Kennedy, it's his first promo back. I wanted to read it, and I thought it was really, really good. I said I didn't read over Roar's promo for Alistair Black in the vein that, I was looking at in the kind of lanes that I'd be grading it. But I do remember thinking on the first read, you're like, oh wow, fuck. Roar put out a good, really good promo, and like, I mean, a really good promo was in that this could step up to Chris Kennedy's promo, which I really rated. And if I sound surprised, I don't intend to. Roar is a really good writer and has shown time and time again when it really matters, he can produce something really good. I think, right, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but I think Roar's shot at Sully, Alistair Black versus, he wasn't Side Sully at the time, but Side Sully just for ease of reference, probably came at the worst time for Roar. I don't mean this way any sort of offence said towards him. I think he'd say the same thing himself. I think challenging Sully and a couple of months after it were probably the weakest bits of Roar right we've got since he joined the FWA with Alistair. Like, if you hold up the Black Caramel stuff to that, and now the stuff he done with Crash against Goldenrock, and now this against Kennedy, the promo for the Gauntlet, the promo for Sully, and like the couple of months after it, it doesn't compare. And it wasn't like he's developed to this stage. I kind of view it as like nearly like a dip in form. Like, we all know Roar's this incredible writer, and he's proven it before. He's even proven it somewhat in the FWA. Then he gets this big opportunity, probably a little bit too soon. Comes to Cropper, has a couple of not weak ones but not strong ones. Then there's a couple of no shows thrown in, and all of a sudden, like, the shine, the gloss has gone off out there, the momentum of Roar's gone. But as I was saying, these things, like, at the end of the day, there's so many good writers in this fed that on any given day anyone can beat anyone. And I think that this, like, Roar beating Jiggy tonight, Ali beating CK, was just that sentiment proven true. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like, I popped for this, even though in kayfabe and story my character Danny wouldn't really like Ali, and would have no beef with CK really. Me as a viewer popped for this because it kind of like hammered home that idea that things are so tight and so close, and like the roster's stacked, and the top end of the cards are always like fucking full of quality and really hard to call. And it segs into like the next bit of the show where they announced the draft for Fallout Meltdown 29th of May. From what I can tell, they're going to be announcing the picks on WC, running concurrently with like our live reaction to the Discord. And then when the draft is finished, there's going to be a YouTube reaction. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool, kind of making it a bit of an event. It lines up with BIB, so it'd be kind of cool if we had like the draft, BIB night 1, BIB night 2, make a bit of a weekend out of it, because obviously BIB is always made out to be a special time of the year and shit like that, but this year especially, I think, with the lockdown and coronavirus and everyone going through their own hardships, we all kind of pulled together a little bit in the EFED and produced like a read. Like, I know there's a couple of like complaints, there still obviously are complaints, like it's never going to be a perfect product, but I think like it's really amped up over the last 5-6 months, and the Fed's in a really exciting place right now with returns and like people that were always touted as being able to take it up to the next level, have taken it up to the next level. And it's just like a really exciting time. The Fed, the roster is really strong, and I'm really looking forward to the draft. I know I've had my reservations about it before, but I am really looking forward to it. And yeah, this announcement's pretty hype. So sorry, just have something you can there. But yeah, obviously going into the next bit with Golden Rock. Golden takes centre stage here with his speech. About being the defender of the FWA. He makes some like pretty good points that are hard to dispute. Lists off all the people that have been an integral, successful part of FWA's history, and kind of makes a fair point that they only are because of his involvement with them. Well, he gets a lot of heat at the moment for like dismissing CWA and shit like this, but if you look to the gimmick and what he's saying here and look like really into what he's saying, it makes sense. And why would Golden acknowledge anything that happened outside the FWA? Like, the FWA is the premier Fed. Like, without getting into whether it was or it wasn't back when CWA was alive and kicking, FWA is the Fed on the form now. That's the one that's alive. That's the one that is, as I've just talked about, in such like a healthy and strong position that it can do a draft and people be fucking hype over it, and we can do two strong brands. Like, that ain't the case. The Fed's in a good place. And I think here when DJ really breaks down, like, he 4-time tag champ, 3-time world champ, 2-time X champ, like, all that shit, you know, like, it is more impressive in the lens of the FWA Fed than people coming, like, not to diminish CWA competitions, because I think CWA was great. I never won anything in CWA. I never even held a championship. I've held 4 championships in the FWA, so it's nothing like that. But CWA isn't, well, not that it's not alive, it is. SS doing shit, like super shit with that, but I just kind of get it in the lens of Golden. And I thought this promo was really good. And yeah, I thought it was another good showcase of Golden. And I think it sets in motion like the start of the second half of the show for the closing segment. And yeah, just thought this was good shit. And then obviously we go into another little TOA bit. Good shit again. Good shit them getting the spotlight. If they get a big win at BOB, go home show after BOB, like, they could get to see themselves in a contendership match then. Like, and I said the way Jimmy's been performing, he'll go over pace and he could be seeing himself in the tag championship picture, and like, that shit's been pretty lit lately, so hopefully he does. Same thing goes for this, like, maybe even more so that I said about like CK and Ali and Jiggy and Raw. Shade and Crash, Shade and Smooth Jazz, Maskell and Crash, like, everyone knows, I think everyone's saying it, how good Maskell can be and the potential that man has. And like, I was so hype, I was kind of bugging Shade for a while to come over, and Maskell's been CWA World Champ, I think Triple Crown Champ, and he's produced good promos here and just been fucking unlucky so far. And I just think like the parallels of Ali beating CK, Maskell beating Crash, they're the two matches. Maskell and Ali, CK and Crash, and obviously CK and Crash for first year was the money match. But like, these results now tonight have everyone looking at Maskell and Ali, and I mean, the way I'm looking at it now is, if the brand split wasn't happening, sorry, but I was just giving this light, hold on, sorry, if the brand split wasn't happening, the way I would be booking post BIB now is Maskell's facing Alistair Black, Kennedy's face and crash. The two winners I would put against each other on the fight night. Remember, this is like in a non-brand split world timeline. Fight night after BIB, I'd put the two winners then matches against each other. Whether that's new number one contender for, doesn't matter who it is, Sully, MVH, Parr. That's 100% I'm down. Obviously, things will have to be a little bit different with the brand split, but I think Maskell and Ali winning tonight just kind of turn things on its head a bit, and maybe even up the stakes for BIB a little bit. So, like, I have to say, I was pretty happy to see this happening. Obviously, Peacock, Diamond, Ramon, like, this is just the pop-worthy segment, you know what I mean? I think this is not really intended to be anything more than it is, but it's three, like, really popular stars: Peacock, Ramon, Diamond. I get the segment place and I get the segment inclusion. It's not at the moment, like, obviously there's like kind of golden opportunity for foreshadowing, but even without that, taking it for what it is, it's fun. I get it. The more important thing is the Nova and Gab seg that follows after. Now I'm just like fucking pretty 100% sure that this is the match at BIB, Nova and Gabs. I said I'm fairly high, fairly drunk. I'm pretty sure reading it that I didn't miss an actual announcement, but I'd said it on the review of Steel City that I think that's what's gonna happen. Now I'm fucking sure that's gonna happen. Again, following with the theme of the night, Sin City Vegas, the poker game, Summer's Prize, fantasy, fun shit. And again, I think it's more just kind of putting Summers in the shop window, kind of like putting it out there that yeah, Sean Summers is gonna be a part of the FWA, which is fucking hype. Another guy I can predict being drafted pretty high. And yeah, really happy with Summers involvement for the night. Garcia kind of, I think, I don't think I'm, yeah, no, I think this was the close of the segment. The Garcia looked pretty good throughout the night, got a good spotlight shown on him. Garcia is a fun character. This was a pretty cool way, pretty unique way to announce Knox and Garcia in the strat match at BIB. Now that I know OMB is back, I'm really looking forward to this match. And yeah, obviously I'm rooting for Knox storyline, rooting for OMB in real life, but I think either way this goes is going to be a pretty cool moment at BIB. The gauntlet match I really enjoyed. I'm not a really huge fan of this gauntlet format. In any case, like, I wasn't massive on the World Championship gauntlet at the start of last year, just before last summer, whatever it was, where like there was the point deduction thing in play, because I think I've said it before, but I felt like, if I recall correctly, Alistair Blackby, Sully and that gauntlet, with the grade averages came out, he'd won by like a point maybe, with like a +2 average. So like, to me, I'd always thought like, well, he didn't actually beat Sully, he lost by a point. So like, it was hard for me to buy into, not that Rourke can't beat Sully on any given day, not at all, but at the time, like, I remember I wasn't even part of the Fed, I wasn't active, but I remember it was just before I was active, so I was viewing it and taking an interest. I remember thinking, well, it's kind of hard for me to buy Ali beating Sully now after saying that. So yeah, I've never really been a fan of the concept. I think it's a hard one to execute in a promo sense that fairly replicates what happens in kayfabe, as in what's produced on the show. I thought this was a fairly good way of doing it, with franchise down to 3 promos. I know there was a little bit of backlash to it on the Discord, but I actually thought this was a pretty good way of doing it. I'm not super shocked at the result. I thought like the franchise's three promos are great. The fact that he produced three different promos for the one match was really cool, and he done it really well. But I thought there was always the chance, like people were saying it was unfair. That franchise got to like maybe express himself a bit more, had a few more words to get across the story. But my counter was, and I think TGO's counter was that it could now be taken as like a one-on-one match by the opposition, and it was like it's like a bit easier to focus when you've only got the one opponent to focus on with 1,000 word cap than the three. And but yeah, I just wasn't shocked that Cole won the championship, and I think that's not trying to detract from the moment like that. I think Cole probably did write the best promo of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 produced, and yeah, after like the Cole, I love this sort of shit. Like Cole came in, had a bit of a rocky start, stuck with it, ground it out. We all love Gip. Gip's great member of the community, and to see shit like this happens really really cool. And I'm like, he's got Cole and Rock and the trios. That's gonna be great as well. And I'm really looking forward to see what happens with Gip going forward. Obviously, I'm not gonna be biased just because some of the end scenes involve my writing and like storyline I'm involved with. The I do agree with the segment the show ended on, but I think running the quiet segment, the quiet segment, sorry, I said I'm fucked, the Uncle segment, and then the Toners and Golden Rock segment back to back. Sorry, and the Peacocks. That's it. I was thinking that didn't sound too well, but yeah, the main event was cool with Cole. The fucking Uncle segment was fire. I was only looking at a sign of profile the other day, thinking about how cool of a concept the Book of Cosmos was, and how I'd like to see that introduced more. So it's cool to see that brought back. The Peacock and Grayson segment was only small filler, but I just thought after like the kind of high and the impact of Cole winning the Gauntlet Championship in the main event, to run like three segments back to back was probably a bit of an iffy decision. Even though I think the three segments were really good, uh, I just don't know if it'd end if I was booking and producing the show, and the show in three segments back to back. Obviously, the closing segment is a really big part of the show and like a really big part of the road to back in business. But as I said, never really like commenting on shit that I've been involved in, and I wrote a good portion of this in conjunction with TGO, Sean and Shake, so I don't want to comment too much on it. But yeah, I fucking, this is for me the whole reason I came back. Came back for the tournament, the Elite Classic, teamed with, paired with Mitch with Donovan Moore. He now showed the first week. I don't know what the plans were. I remember being a little bit down that like because I had like now look, I don't blame anyone for doubting me because I'd made this commitment a couple of times before, but like this, when I was coming back this time, I was really coming back to give it one last good bash. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but like that's what I was down, and I was a little bit down after obviously coming back, and like I knew I was beating like I showed Mitch did, and it was against Crash and Par, so like fucking like, you know, I knew I'd lost. I knew there wasn't much room for a story there. Fucking a bit like tonight, just fucking high, drunk, really checking out like the FWA shit and all. I was talking to Sean, I was talking to TGO, I was talking to Shake, all separately, and the four of us went into a group chat. I can't remember why exactly, but we went in and like I think we were all either like high or drunk, and we were just kind of having a bit of a fucking laugh, and we were chatting, we were saying, "Oh, how funny would it be if you done this?" And like the guys are kind of like giving me a bit of shit about, "Oh yeah, typical Tig, like comes back, Danny Toner, fucking lose the first match, his partner no shows, ironic, blah blah blah." And we were saying, "Oh, Mitch probably won't be around for the next couple of weeks," and it's a shame. Like I would have liked to stick around this time. Like, oh, it'd be so funny if like Danny just came out with like a fucking twin brother, like fucking Donny Toner or something. We were just fucking laughing, having a joke around. Shake a couple of minutes later was like, hold on, like that could be kind of something, like, and kind of started talking. We were saying like it was all kind of very ha. Wouldn't it be really funny if we pretended Danny Toner had a twin brother, and we ran this storyline for months, and it was actually Ryan Rondo all along, like very like ha, that'd be gas. But then like the more like we must have talked for 3 or 4 hours that night, and by the end of it we were like, no, fuck, let's do this. Let's fucking do this. Let's do this. Like, so like originally we had hoped, obviously you can't plan these things, it's E-Feds, like originally we'd hoped we'd be able to produce quality enough promos, because like we knew Golden Rock were in the winners bracket, Danny was in the losers bracket because he'd lost with Moore against Crash and Power. So we knew that if Golden Rock won all their matches and we won all their matches, that the end of the Elite Classic would be Golden Rock versus the Toners, and that's originally what we were hoping to do, get in. That's when we did the unmasking and reveal it and all, and it was Rondo and all that shit. But obviously fucking ETA and Raw just fucked shit up, and Black Caravel beat the Toners in New York. So yeah, nice and ETA, nice and Raw. But yeah, so that like kind of fucked that plan up, and kind of in a bit of a weird situation. Then like Danny kind of got pushed with like the Gauntlet the Gauntlet Championship being created and being involved in that sort of shit. And even though the Gauntlet Championship shit was really good and all, but like the weeks preceding that, kind of like floundering a bit, and then the Peacock shit happened, and we had the warehouse on New Year's Eve. And obviously the other big thing that happened on New Year's was Rondo and MVH in Japan. And yeah, like that was kind of fun, like how like kind of planning, like if you remember the backstory, like Danny kind of told MVH that he might know somebody in Japan, and in the Rondo part of the prologue and all to that match, he was saying like he'd gotten a message from his mate, didn't say it was Danny, but it was Danny and shit like that. And even at the warehouse on New Year's, Peacock and Toner, Donny wasn't there at all. Christian Quinn called it, because obviously he's not Donny, but Donny wasn't there at all because obviously he was fighting fucking MVH in Japan on ice. So like we've had this shit planned for fucking ages, man. And like just it was really cool to see it like come to light here. And I just wish that between the four of us, one of us was better at like fucking animations and videos and shit like that, because I think the Rondo, like the Danny Toner and Donny Toner Rondo anagram unscrabble thing is cool, but like it's really basically done. But yeah, I hope people like it like that. Like, to be honest, this one, like whatever happens, I'm dying for BYB. I can't wait for Golden Rock against Toner and Rondo. Fucking Toner X Rondo, like whatever, man. We haven't got a name yet, but like you think after 10 months we'd have a name, but that's one thing we haven't. That and team music is something we haven't settled on. But yeah, I hope people are as hype as we are. I think it's like kind of like this moment here tonight was kind of, that's what I came back for. This is the moment I wanted to get to, regardless of what happens at BIB. I'm really happy with everything that's happened so far, and yeah, just fucking hope people are as hype as I am. But yeah, I know this has probably been a particularly lengthy and rambly version, and probably a bit incoherent due to the spliffs and the beers, but yeah, peace boys, catch you later.